Hi guys, welcome back to chapter 3 from unit 2, which is designing the product or service with AARevision. So some keywords that you've got to need to know again. Design. Fairly straightforward, but we're not thinking of general design, but more to do with businesses. So design is making sure that the product is suited to the market's requirements. So adapting it with these sort of changes, such as if I was to design cat treats, I'd have to make it appealing. I need to state what sort of inside the treats and what sort of treats they are and what sort of colours to use and the combinations. The one I'm holding has chicken and delectable duck, and it is Dreamies, for example. Production is sourcing the necessary inputs to create a quality product or service. So it's either in-house or outsourcing. In-house is like within your firm or your production, or outsourcing is when you get it from abroad or from a different management or a different company, etc., where costs tend to be cheaper, basically. Operation management covers all aspects of production, including the sourcing of all inputs and the efficient organization of all resources used in productions. So this is to do with sort of the production and the design. It's generally the operation management. The design mix. So the design mix refers to the way in which function, aesthetics, and economic manufacture are combined in the overall design. Function is the way in which the product performs. So does it actually work? Does it function well, basically? Aesthetics. Does it have a degree of beauty or style? Can it be perceived by the user? Is it appealing? How appealing is it? So it's like the looks, appearance, basically. Aesthetics, appearance, just remember it as that, and you should know what aesthetics are. Economic manufacture, can it be produced at a low cost? So can it be at a low enough cost to be competitive? So the design mix is all three of these put together and to create the right combination in order to have a brilliant product or service. Product innovation occurs when new technologies make it possible to create completely new or greatly improved products. So innovation is when you put an idea into practice, where you have an idea, you manage to make something out of it, and it's either improving existing ones or creating your new own stuff, basically. Productivity, it tends to measure how efficiently resources are actually being used, usually by looking at output per unit of input. So making sure that you are being productively efficient, you're not wasting resources, etc. Efficiency means organizing production so that waste is minimized and costs are at the lowest that they can possibly can. So being productive and productive efficiencies, or any kind of efficiencies, make sure that your firm is quite good, it's not wasting things, costs are good, then it helps the environment, it helps the company to save costs. So what's there to lose, I suppose? So sorry, how can productivity be increased? So there's usually 4 types, but I'm going to talk about 3 types. So physical capital, which is like tools and machines. So they enable labour to be more efficient and to be more productive. Technology, so improvements here can help improve productivity and reduce costs. Process of innovation. Process innovation means using technologies to improve production methods so that costs tend to be reduced. And technology, like post-modern production and distribution systems wouldn't function without sophisticated computer systems. So if there's improvements in the technology sides of things, this could help increase productivity and also to reduce costs, which is basically process innovation, sorry. Human capital refers to the skills of the workforce. So like education, it gives important general skills, and these are improved and refined by specialist training. So the better human skill is, like generally our human capital is the knowledge that we tend to have and how skilled we are. Like by doing A-levels, going into university, our human capital is improving. We have better skills than people that wouldn't do A-levels and stuff, basically. Sorry that I keep saying basically, I think it's just a word that I can't live without for now. Anyways, capital and labour intensive. So you've just got to know this. Capital, think of machineries. Labour, think of individuals. Labour, I think everyone should know that labour is people, work. labour, like, and the amount of labour going into work. It's just work, individuals. So as long as you know that labour is individuals, you'll know that capital is machinery. Like, if I was to be capital intensive, it's production that uses large amounts of capital and relatively little labour. For example, farmers, they probably usually were labour intensive, where they use little amounts of labour, they use large amounts of labour and relatively little capital back in the days, probably, because they probably all had to cut things and crops and stuff with their own bare hands, etc. But nowadays we've got machineries to do that, so they can harvest the fields with tractors, etc. So they tend to be more capital intensive now, which cut costs. It's quicker. What's there to lose? You probably get a lot more efficiency out of them, because if people are cutting out, I don't know, wheat, for example, you might miss a bit, whereas the machines are trained to pick every last detail out of them, and they can take out hundreds at a time, so they're usually capital intensive, as an example. Like, I don't know, if you're making cat treats, again, I'm pretty sure no one actually put each individual cat treats into a packet. They probably got a capital machinery, so machinery is just take a handful of these Dreamies cat treats and they just put it into the little bags and then off they pop, basically. So that's capital intensive versus labour intensive. Efficiency and growth. So there's quite a few, which is, well, all four of them. I fit in flexible working and contracts and flexible contracts into one. So efficiency and growth. Finance. So capital investment is quite expensive. They need to be able to purchase new equipment when needed. So they need to have adequate finance to be available in order to purchase new equipment and to fund training schemes, and that enables people to use the new technology. So they need to have finance on hand in case things are running down, things aren't progressing as easily, and they might need new machineries ASAP because old machineries might not work, etc. So finance is really important in order to have efficiency and growth. Skills. Many people need to change their jobs as demand for some products tends to rise whilst others is falling. So businesses will make employees redundant, or else other businesses will actually recruit more. So new jobs tend to open up, but sometimes retraining schemes may be needed in order to help. So, like, skills of labour, so previous thingy, human capital. So depending on how good your human capital is, they might hire you or they might make you redundant because your skills aren't as great as other workers, I suppose. Flexible working. Some businesses will require multitasking so that employees can take on different roles as needed, and they need to be prepared to be flexible. And flexible contracts, so like some employers want their employees to work flexible hours or on short-term contracts, which help to cut costs and also reduce employee security. So they need to be effective and they need to be available in order for firms to call out workers when they need them, and efficiency and growth follows on. Capacity utilization. So to define this, it's what proportional percentage of the theoretical maximum possible output is actually produced. So underutilization and overutilization. Quick calculation. Capacity utilization is current output divided by maximum possible output times 100. I doubt you'll be needing this, but I might make a later video if you request it. So if you guys want me to do a specific video, like anything that I've covered that I haven't covered effectively, please write it down in the comments and I'll try to make a video completely, like a whole 10-minute video based on that. So underutilization means that capital equipment is lying idle some of the time, so obviously that's wasteful, and productivity is lower than it could be. So basically you're not using your machinery. So if you're paying £10,000 and you're not going to use your machines all the time, what's the point of paying £10,000 in order to have this machinery there for you, but you don't even utilize it to its maximum capacity, basically? So you need to make sure that you use it. Overutilization is producing more than its capital equipment was designed for, which can lead in an increase in average cost as bottlenecks and breakdowns and overcrowding reduce efficiency. And once again, it means that businesses is not as competitive as it could be. So there's ways to like improve them and reduce underutilization of capacity, but I will get onto that onto a later video in more detail, hopefully. So that's it for like chapter 3 of unit 2 and stay tuned for the rest. Goodbye guys! Subscribe and like my videos. Thank you. Bye.